live? Yes, I think I am live. Well, I am alive, but I think I'm live on Facebook. Okay, I'll give it a couple of moments to see if anybody's going to be joining me. Make sure I've got everything ready. It looks like I might be on my own today. Oh, am I back? I might be back. Oh, technical issues today. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm back up on the big screen too. Well, sorry about that. Technology will come and bite us in the bum some days. And I have a big bum, so plenty to bite on. Right. Okay, I can see people. I can't see any comments, but I can see that people have joined me. So that's a good start. Hopefully comments will come up shortly. Hope you're all well. It's not been a bad day here in my part of the UK. It's pretty chilly though. And it's getting dark. But on the plus side, it's 2 minutes later than yesterday and 2 minutes from, so we're almost at, 5 minutes than Christmas. I hate the dark nights. I hate the light drawing in. I much prefer the long days, and yeah, it's just more me. Anyway, what are we here for? Well, today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to recreate the card that Jill shared on our Facebook page today and on our blog. It's not something I usually do. I usually do my own thing, but I wanted to have a play with what she'd done. I haven't got a sample to show you, so if you'd like to see her sample, please pop over to our blog, leave a comment, start to follow us. That would be fab. I will be trying to make it my own, I suppose, which is what most of us do when we case something. If you're not familiar with that term, to case a project is to copy and share everything. Is it a mnemonic? No, I can't think of the term where you take the letter of each and make a word, but anyway, enough of that rubbish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy her card and change it up slightly, and then sorry about that, and then I will perhaps make a one slightly different but using the same things. So anyway, enough chat from me. You don't want to see me. Oh, don't forget, guys, if any of you are in the UK and looking for a catalogue and would be interested in becoming a demonstrator for Stampin' Up yourselves, please come and have a chat with us. We have catalogues which we can send out if you prefer hard copy. And we have links to our online store where the catalogues are. And if you're interested in joining, we have a great joining offer at the moment where you get 2 free stamp sets of your choice. Combined with the fact that you're paying £99 for £130 worth of goodies out of the catalogues, and that is any catalogues that are current. It's a really good deal financially. But the best thing about it is the fact that you get to join a group of wonderful people who love crafting, and we have so much laughter and fun in our little group. Initialism. Oh, okay. That's a good word, isn't it? Right. Anyway, enough about that. But like I say, if you do have any queries, please just give us a shout. We're here to help. Right. I'm going to try and flip this without making anybody go seasick. And, ooh. There we go. Let's just adjust this stand a fraction. Oh, we've got lots of shadows on there today. I don't know quite why we've got so many shadows. Hey ho. I have worked out what lighting I'm going to get. I just got to afford to get it. Okay, so this is the stamp set that Jill has used for today's projects. It's called Encircled in Friendship. It's available in the annual catalogue. It's a cling mount stamp, and it has just 2 smallish images, but some really nice sentiments. In a world where you can be anything, thank you for being kind. Isn't that a lovely sentiment? Just a note to let you know that someone thought of you today. Because of you, each day is a little brighter. You're in my thoughts with heartfelt thanks, and you're the best. And these flowers remind me of some flowers that I love. Cut flowers, and I have cut flowers at home every week. These remind me of a flower called Alstroemeria. I'm still showing us live on my phone,
it's just come back,
but
it's very blurry.
oh, that's not a very good picture on that screen, is it? I don't know quite what to do about this. I'm not very good with technical issues.
Try going on to turning your phone onto mobile data rather than the internet.
Hang on. I'm just going to try and put my phone onto mobile data rather than to reconnect. Can you see me? Yes, that's good. So, I don't know what you caught, but I'll go back a step. This flower in here reminds me of the Alstroemeria flower, and I'm still really blurry on the screen, isn't it? Oh dear, and you've got no signal. Oh, this is going to be rubbish today, isn't it? I'm so sorry. I can't do. Oh, it's come back now. Yeah, oh, it looks okay from my perspective. Right, okay, I'm just going to play along as if you could all see me, and if you can't, well, who have I been talking to but myself? It's something I do frequently anyway. So, we're going to be using this flower on this acrylic block. I'm going to reposition that fractionally just so it's in the middle. I'm going to be using Memento ink pad because it's a nice black. And I'm going to get Jill, that's what Jill used for today's card. And I'm going to get out my watercolour pencils. Jill used her granddaughter's colouring pencils. I don't have any of those at the moment. My grandson isn't into colouring with pencils. He likes felt tip pens. Of course he does. Actually, my niece is the worst one. She likes to colour everything, including herself, in felt tip pen. But she is only 2, so we'll let her off. So I've got these colours. I'm going to just rather rashly empty them out onto the surface so I can see what colours I've got, because the colours are all on the ends, which is rather handy. So we've got the colours. Oh yeah, it would help if we had some card, wouldn't it? Let's make a card blank first. I've got to okay. So, card base, as you know, I like my card bases. Oh, I'm around the wrong way. I like my card bases to be template. So I'm going to score my piece of A4 card in half at 14.85. And then I'm going to turn it back in and I'm going to cut it at 10.5. And that'll give me 2 card bases to be playing with for now. Drop that down there. Okay, get my bone folder out. Oh, why is nothing, where do you leave it when you've had a tidy up? I've been very fortunate for Christmas this year. I have received a chair, an office chair to do my crafting at with, and I have moved everything yesterday whilst we made it and put it in position, and now I've lost my trusty bone folder, So I will have to go and get another one out. This isn't a Stampin' Up one, but it will work just as well. So let's give our card bases a nice fold. Make sure they stay nice and neat. There's one, and let's do the next one. Line up those corners. And I know lots of you buy pre-made or pre-do your card bases. I keep thinking that's a really good idea to make up cards and have them ready in a box and all the rest of it, but I never quite get to it. So for now, we'll keep doing as we've been doing. Okay, so I've got my card base. I'm going to line it up. I have my ink. Oh, look, already I've got ink on me. Now, I am going to ink this up. Tap, tap, tap. This is a felt-based ink pad, so you can do a little bit of a shimmy on it. And I'm going to stamp it down. 1, 2, 3. And see how perfect alignment. Ha-ha! Won't happen again, but hey-ho. Right. So, close that up because we don't want ink everywhere because I've already got it on my fingers. Check we're still lined up and down. 1, 2, 3. There. How pretty is that? So, in Jill's card, she created colours on the flower and then did a light blue background. I'm going to replicate that by using a watercolour pencil with the name Balmy Blue. Balmy Blue. I can't say that word. Anyway, Balmy. Can you see how my tip is flattened on the side there rather than a point? The reason for that is when you use a watercolour pencil, if you go for the flatter side, you will get a smoother colour as you're going across. If you use the pointy tip, you get scratchy lines. I know that makes no sense. It's very childish, but I thought you might... I've got black mark on there already. Get your hands clean, woman. I might need to work with a bit of tissue today to cover my fingerprints. So, all I'm going to do is take the flat side and I'm very gently going to colour all around my image. Jill coloured all around hers, so this is what we're going to do today. And in between, because the leaves are not solid, so we don't want to apply too much pressure because we don't want this to be a very strong coloured background. We're going for something light and hopefully pretty. So we're just going to keep colouring around these edges. I'm going to turn it up the other way and make sure I've got my flat side. I'm going to be a little bit darker at the top, but that's not a problem. Keep going around the image. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be exact. We're going for a gentle feel to the outside of our image. And one of the reasons I like to do this, and I know Jill does, is what I call giving it somewhere to sit. It's grounding it. It's not just them floating in the middle of the page. Okay, so we've got our background. Now let's give it some colour. I'm going to do the leaves next. Now, I'm looking at mine, and my Alstroemeria have leaves that are a mix of Granny Apple Green, which is this one, and Old Olive. So I'm going to apply very gently, again using the flat side, the brighter of the two colours all over. And then I'm going to just do the leaves for now. Did you know Alstroemeria leaves are growing twist round? They come out and then they twist round, so they're the wrong way up. I didn't know that either until recently, but I do now, and so do you. I love cut flowers. I love flowers in the garden too, but I don't have a very good track record with them. Okay, so I'm now taking my darker Old Olive and I'm just going to add very gently, deepen the colour on these leaves. I don't want to make them completely dark, but I want them to have a little bit of oomph to them, if you know what I mean. So we're going to keep that round there. We're going to go for this side. Now we do have, because I have two sets, we do have a bit of garden green here. Let me just see. Oh no, I don't like that. I'll always try out colours on the side because it gives you the opportunity to change your mind, which is something that I do quite a lot. Sometimes you just don't know, do you? And you just have to give it a go. So let's go back over this Old Olive with our Granny Apple Green, so we can give it a little bit more light. There we are. They look a bit more lively, don't they? Well, I think they do. I can't see any comments, so if you're sending me, telling me things, I'm really sorry I'm not replying. Hello, Mary Ellen. Somebody's, Andrea's just told me that you're here.
Not many comments.
Not a lot of comments today. That's probably just as well. Okay, so let's get on to these flowers. Now, the Alstroemeria in my living room at the moment have got pretty pink petals with a slight yellow centre. Now, I got that pink, but I need I think I'm going to go for Daffodil Delight for the centres. And then I'm going to have a bit of Flirty Flamingo, which is a slightly lighter shade. And maybe add a little depth with the Melon Mambo when needed. So let's just open up this colour. My flat side seems to have disappeared, so let's create one. That's better. I'm just going to add the colour gently to that. And then, like most things, it's not perfect, it's not precise, there is no exacting promise of what you need to do to it. But what you need to do is play. Okay, so there's my yellow bits coming in now. And I've put that over the pink. And the reason I've done that is because pink and yellow make orange. And I think that's going to add a nice touch. Brightens it up. Okay, so I'm just going to take the darker Melon Mambo now. I'm just going to use the lines that are already there. These speckles or freckles in the flower. I'm just going to highlight some of those with my Melon Mambo, so that it just adds a little bit of colour, depth, whatever we want to call it, in there. And a bit of shadow where the top petals are sitting over the others. And then get my pink, my Flirty Flamingo again, and just very gently colour those. So to softening those lines a little bit, because we don't want any hard lines. These are pretty flowers. Okay, let's move on to the next flower, making sure I don't get my grubby marks all over them. So are any of you guys gardeners? Do you all love your gardens, have beautiful gardens? My mum, who usually joins us, actually has a fabulous garden. She is watching. And I've just been told she is watching. She has a fabulous garden full of beautiful plants. In fact, for Christmas, she actually asked for more plants and she received them. She asked for some Alstroemeria, but they won't be ready to arrive until the spring. But they'll be waiting for her there when the warmer weather comes. Now, can you see this area here? That is lighter. It's lighter on purpose. In fact, I want to create it even lighter. So I'm actually going to apply some white pencil on there just to give that even more whiteness. If that makes, I don't think that's very good English, but how did I do the blue shading around the edges? I took my Balmy Blue pencil and I said it right. Woohoo! My tip for using watercolour pencils or any pencils is not to use the pointy edge because you get lines, but to create a flat edge so it's smoother. And I literally just scribbled around the edges. Not a very technical term, but it's the one I use. No, it's not Pacific Point. It is definitely Balmy Blue, because that's the name on the label. The end does look very dark. In fact, it looks the same shade almost as Night of Navy. But I'll go by the labels. Anyway, back to me flowers. So, Flirty Flamingo. Let's get some more flirty in here. I love pink. What's your favourite colours? Do you have a favourite colour? We've got a little bit of a throat on this one, so let's add a touch of yellow in there. And we have some freckles. Let's add some freckles with our Melanie Mambo. And a little bit of shadowing. And then go back with our Flirty Flamingo to smooth those colours out a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to take the white and just add a little bit on the tips there and across there where the sun might have hit it. Okay, let's get these going. I find colouring in therapeutic, but I find all types of crafting therapeutic. I find it relaxing and I think it's good for your souls. My mum loves to garden. That's her way of restoring a little peace and tranquility into her life. I'm hoping that the people watching this like crafting. Okay, final flower. Let's check I got the right pencil. Flirty. Let's give this one a go. So we're going to colour the petals in lightly in the lightest pink. Not being precise. I'm not being exact. I don't mind if there's little bits of white around the edges. In fact, as you've seen, I actually go back in and put white on sometimes. We've got to get this lovely yellow throat going on these little tiny stamens. I'm going to pop little pops of yellow on those. And then some of the Melon Mambo to get the freckling going. We're not going to be too heavy-handed. But we don't want to not put them in. And we'll put a little bit of shadows behind some of those folded edges. And then go back to our Flirty Flamingo and just very gently colour over the top to try and get an even finish. Okay, drop of white there and there, and maybe just there. And what do you think? That was 10 minutes after lots of technical issues. There, I'm quite pleased with that. Now, Jill put the sentiment, every day is a little brighter, on the inside. I know each day is a little brighter. But she popped on the front the because of you. So we're going to grab the because of you. And I'm also going to take out, because she decorated the inside of her card, which is something we both like to do a lot, with this little one. So we're going to do the sentiment first. We're going to use the because of you. Take the backing off, move that slightly out the way, put the pencils over there. And I use my block. Now that, in my opinion, that block is miles too big for that sentiment. So let's get rid of that and put a smaller one there. Okay, so I'm going to use my grid paper to help me position this. If you like your stamps to have the labels on, you won't need to worry about that. I'm going to just get that so it's looking, it's pretty tricky with when I can't look straight over the top of it, but I kind of feel that's getting good. So let's get some ink. I got messy again. Nothing new there then. Tap, tap, tap. Let's line that up on there. Upside down. See, this is why I have to stamp on my grid paper or my scrap paper, because if I don't, it goes wrong every time. Okay, where's my tissue gone? Oh, I've lost the tissue now. I'm doing really well today. Okay, so we're going to pop this, make sure that this is lined up on the grid paper again. And we're going to go for it. We're just going to... What does that say? It's the wrong sentiment. You're the best. I didn't want you're the best. I wanted because of you. See, I'm getting my knickers in a twist. I can't read upside down and back to front. I'm not clever enough for this. So let's put this back on here. Let's try again. Because of you. And we'll try inking it again. And we'll test it out just to make sure. That's it. This is the one we're going to go for it. Sometimes you just have to go for it. Because of you. Slightly wonky. But hey, could be worse. 2 stamps to clean though, because I'm fudged it. Hey ho. Put them to one side. Now let's concentrate on the inside. We're going to take the small flower. Now pop it on the block. We're going to line our grid paper and our card base up again. Some nice gentle tapping. Check that it's working okay. And we're just going to pop that in the corner like that. Yes, that worked lovely. Lubbly jobbly. Now, here's this block. Oh, it's not very good size for that one. Hang on, let's find another one. Right, sometimes you just need a long, thin block. So, each day is a little brighter. I think that's the sentiment we're going for. Because of you, each day is a little brighter. Let's check it out. upside down, not a surprise. Ink it up again. Let's try it again. Each day is a little brighter. Now, Jill put it in the middle, but I'm going to be a little bit controversial. And I'm going to pop mine down here. Get my tissue, because I don't want to get ink on the inside as well. Rubbish. Stay still. Do you talk to yourself when you're crafting? If you do, you can do a Facebook Live, no trouble. It's all about talking to yourself. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. I got a mark round it. I pressed too hard. Oh well. We'll sort that out one way or t'other. Okay, let me just put the lid on my ink pad, because I don't want to get it anywhere else. I'm very good at getting them everywhere. Okay, so we're going to start off again. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to get this balmy blue pencil that doesn't necessarily look very balmy blue. And I'm going to take the flat side, and I'm very gently going to just go round the outside so that my flower is not hanging in midair. It is a little bit more grounded. Going in between the petals gently. And just following it round. Nothing fancy, nothing difficult. Just go with the flow. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to do what feels right. And if it doesn't feel right to do it, don't do it. There. I'm not sure I like that bit there, but I do come back in there. Need a little bit more here. Okay, leaves, we used Old Olive and Granny Apple. So let's get the brighter, lighter colour out, the Granny Apple. And we're going to go over the leaves and the stem. Then we're going to take the darker Old Olive and add a little bit of depth to these leaves. And the stem. And then we're going to take out Granny Apple again, go back over to lift the colour a little. Don't be afraid to mix the colour of your pencils, you know, they are there to be mixed together, really. Flirty Flamingo for the lightest part of the flower. Flat side. Gentle colour. And we'll use the Melon Mambo for the freckles and the shadows. Just like that. Back with the Flirty to kind of smooth those colours out. Nice thing about these watercolour pencils is they're very creamy, so they are quite forgiving. A little bit of white to highlight certain bits. And I do believe we're done. Now, do we need to continue the blue around the sentiment, or do we leave it like that? That is the question. I'm not sure. I think I'll leave that for now. Anyway, this is my recreation of Jill's hashtag simple stamping here on Two Big Girls on hashtag Make It Simple Monday. Please forgive my little splodgy, but you know, it's handmade, and I've got a fingerprint there too. Now, because these are watercolour pencils, what I can do is go in with a water brush or a paintbrush of any description and very gently this is a dry brush, it's not got any water in it. I have got a little bottle of water here, and I am going to pop a blob of water, and I don't mean very much because I am lethal. I'm just going to literally just pick up, dampen the brush so it's not sopping wet, it's just damp. And I'm going to go and I'm going to draw around these blue bits, and I'm going to drag them out so they fade out, and we begin to lose some of the lines that are there. Now, it was perfectly fine before the way it was. This is just an added extra if you wish to. If you are using watercolour pencils, if you're not, don't do it. If you don't want to, don't do it. This is the nice thing about card making, paper crafting, stamping. It's personal choice. It's your project. You do it how you want. You do not have to obey any rules. There are no rules. And I'm just playing and smoothing that out there. Just kind of trying to wash that colour out to the edges because I want it to fade into the background. You can take as much time as you like doing this, or you can take no time at all. It is entirely up to you. As we were saying, so let's turn this around and give it some of that water because we don't want it all over the project. We don't want to be colouring in the flowers blue because they're not blue, they're pink. There. Now, can you see that blue has kind of softened? It's dragging out to the edges a little bit more, fading into the background. I like that effect. If you don't like it, don't do it. And I shall continue that into the inside of my card to get rid of some of these harsher lines, just by using a little paintbrush and a drop, and I do mean a little drop of water. You do not need to use tons and tons of it. We're not working with watercolour paper. We're not making a mess today. Well, I've made a mess already because of my hands, but you know what I mean. We're not doing messy backgrounds, which sometimes I like to do. Okay. So, there we go. And don't forget to blot out your water, because you don't want to tip it all over your work. Clean off the tip of your paintbrush, because you don't want to transfer the colour to the next project. So, there you have it. My recreation of Jill's beautiful card on our Facebook page and blog today, with a wonky sentiment, a fingerprint and a splotch. Anyway, I think that's enough of me for today. I like this stamp set. I think it's got some beautiful sentiments, and these Alstroemeria are so pretty. You could make beautiful backgrounds with it. You can do all sorts. It can be the focal point or it can be the background. The choice is yours. Anyway, that's it from me today. Take care, look after yourselves, and see you next week. Bye.